In a catastrophic turn of events, a massive dam in China has collapsed, unleashing a devastating flood that has submerged half of the country underwater. The scale of this disaster is unprecedented, with raging waters tearing through cities, destroying bridges, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The dam, which had long been a source of pride for China's engineering prowess, gave way without warning, releasing an immense volume of water that quickly overwhelmed nearby communities. Eyewitnesses report a terrifying wall of water surging through streets, sweeping away cars, buildings, and anything else in its path. As the floodwaters spread, major rivers across the country have swollen to dangerous levels, bursting their banks and inundating vast areas of land. The iconic bridges that once stood as symbols of China's rapid development now lie in ruins, torn apart by the relentless force of the water. In major cities, the scenes are apocalyptic. Skyscrapers stand like islands in a sea of murky brown water, their lower floors completely submerged. The streets that once bustled with life and commerce have become treacherous waterways, navigable only by boat. The human toll of this disaster is staggering. Millions of people have been displaced, their homes and livelihoods washed away in an instant. Rescue efforts are underway, but the sheer scale of the flooding has overwhelmed emergency services. Helicopters hover above the waterlogged landscape, plucking stranded survivors from rooftops and treetops. China's government has declared a state of emergency, mobilizing all available resources to respond to the crisis. However, the extent of the flooding has made it difficult to reach many affected areas. Roads are impassable, railways are underwater, and many airports have been forced to close. The economic impact of this disaster is expected to be severe. China's industrial heartland, home to countless factories and businesses, lies in the path of the flood. The disruption to manufacturing and supply chains will likely be felt globally. As the world grapples with the ripple effects of this catastrophe, environmental experts are sounding the alarm about the long-term consequences of the flooding. Toxic chemicals from inundated factories and sewage systems have contaminated the floodwaters, posing serious health risks to both humans and wildlife. The delicate ecosystems of China's rivers and wetlands have been thrown into chaos, with potentially irreversible damage to biodiversity. As the waters continue to rise, questions are being raised about the factors that led to this disaster. Climate change has been cited as a potential contributor, with scientists pointing to increasingly extreme weather patterns as a cause for concern. Others are scrutinizing the construction and maintenance of the dam itself, wondering if corners were cut in the rush to build ever larger infrastructure projects. The international community has rallied to offer support, with countries around the world pledging aid and sending rescue teams. However, the logistical challenges of delivering assistance to such a vast affected area are immense. In the face of this overwhelming tragedy, stories of heroism and resilience have emerged. Local volunteers have taken to makeshift boats to rescue their neighbors, while communities on higher ground have opened their doors to those fleeing the floods. The spirit of solidarity among the Chinese people is evident, even as they face one of the greatest challenges in their nation's history. As the days pass, the full extent of the damage becomes clearer. Satellite images reveal a landscape transformed, with entire regions now underwater. The task of rebuilding will be monumental, requiring years of effort and enormous resources. The collapse of the dam and the subsequent flooding serve as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the vulnerability of even the most advanced infrastructure. It raises urgent questions about how societies can adapt to a changing climate and build resilience against future disasters. For now, the focus remains on saving lives and providing immediate relief to those affected. But as the waters eventually recede, China and the world will be left to grapple with the long-term implications of this catastrophic event. The flooding has not only reshaped the physical landscape of China, but also its social and economic fabric. Families have been torn apart, communities scattered, and livelihoods destroyed. The road to recovery will be long and challenging, requiring not just the rebuilding of infrastructure, but also the healing of a nation's psyche. In the aftermath of the disaster, there are calls for a comprehensive review of dam safety across China and indeed around the world. Engineers and policymakers are reevaluating the risks associated with large-scale water management projects, particularly in light of changing climate patterns. The international scientific community has mobilized to study the causes and effects of the dam collapse and subsequent flooding. Their findings could have far-reaching implications for future infrastructure projects and disaster preparedness strategies globally. As China begins the daunting task of rebuilding, there is a growing recognition of the need to work with nature rather than against it. Discussions are underway about implementing more sustainable flood management techniques, such as restoring wetlands and creating room for the river in urban planning. The disaster has also sparked a national conversation about the pace of development and the potential costs of prioritizing economic growth over environmental concerns. Many are calling for a more balanced approach to progress, one that takes into account the long-term sustainability of both human settlements and natural ecosystems. In the cities and towns slowly emerging from the floodwaters, the process of cleaning up and rebuilding has begun. It is a monumental task, with mountains of debris to be cleared and vital infrastructure to be repaired or replaced. Yet amidst the devastation, there are signs of hope and determination. Communities are coming together to support one another, sharing resources and labor to start the recovery process. Local leaders are working tirelessly to coordinate relief efforts and plan for the future, drawing on the resilience and ingenuity that have long characterized the Chinese people. The flooding has also highlighted the interconnectedness of our modern world. The disruption to China's industrial output has sent shockwaves through global supply chains, affecting businesses and consumers around the planet. This serves as a stark reminder of the need for greater resilience and diversification in our economic systems. As the immediate crisis begins to subside, attention is turning to the long-term health and environmental impacts of the flooding. Public health officials are working to prevent the spread of waterborne diseases, while environmental teams assess the damage to ecosystems and plan remediation efforts. The story of China's Great Flood will be told for generations to come. It will be remembered as a tragedy of immense proportions, but also as a testament to human resilience and the power of community in the face of adversity. As the nation rebuilds, it carries with it valuable lessons about the delicate balance between human ambition and the forces of nature. In the end, this catastrophic event may serve as a turning point, not just for China, but for the world. It underscores the urgent need for global cooperation in addressing climate change and building more resilient societies. As we move forward, the hope is that from this great tragedy will emerge new wisdom and a renewed commitment to creating a more sustainable and harmonious relationship with our planet.